Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday, July 4th, 2025. Happy Friday. I hope you're enjoying the holiday today. If you have the day off, if not, and you're working, get your tips. And y'all remember to tip people that's serving y'all today. They need that money, and it's tax-free up into $25,000 now. So, blessings upon you and your family. Hopefully, everybody's safe and healthy, and blessings upon those that work in health, along with first responders who even on holidays are out here trying to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children, victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Helping those that are victims of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators of these nasty things, double curses on those that profit from these nasty things, and double curses on the nasty perverts that create demands that cause these things to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, veterans, and military veterans and families and senior citizens homeless in the United States. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Today I wanted to talk about a concern that I had, and a lot of you have expressed, is the Knicks defense. The Knicks defense under Mike Brown. I'm not buying Mike Brown as a defensive coach, but I'm not worried about it either. And the reason I'm not is because Mike Brown, as I expressed yesterday, one of the reasons the Knicks hired him is he's a collaborator. He's not stupid. In other words, he understands the importance of defense in trying to win a championship. Though he has not been the head coach, he has been a part of 4 NBA champions on this coaching staff of San Antonio and Golden State. Both of those teams play high-level defense to win those chips. Anybody that's going to win a championship has to play high-level defense. He understands that. And so he will understand that he needs help. Now, Micah Nori is still in the mix as an assistant coach. And I explained to you all even last week that the Knicks were looking to hire a coach and an assistant that will work together for both sides of the basketball. Now, it's not rocket science. It does take some scheming for the defense to be successful in the NBA because of how fast the game is, how athletic and talented the players are. But it's not crazy rocket science. It's definitely more complicated than street ball, right? But one thing for sure that you can understand is there's strengths and there's weaknesses. On the Knicks, there are basically, there's players that are going to be in a rotation. There are basically 3 weaknesses. There's Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Jordan Clarkson. Those are your 3 weaknesses of the 10-man rotation that you'll probably see. All the other guys in the 10-man rotation can play defense. And most of them at a very high level. You're talking about OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Deuce McBride. Yabusele plays high-level NBA defense. And of course, Mitchell Robinson. So you're going to have defenders in that rotation. So the key game here is trying to, in some ways, we talk about hiding someone or just setting up the defense so that their weaknesses are hit. The most glaring problem we will have is with Karl-Anthony Towns. That's what happened against Indiana. They kept pick and rolling Karl-Anthony Towns. And then, of course, because Towns reacts very slowly on defense, doesn't position himself the right way, consistently doesn't do it. So it's not like he has to learn to do it. He's been in the league a long time. If he don't know how to do it now, he probably ain't going to learn how to do it. So what you got to do is try to get him to be in positions where he doesn't get taken advantage of. That means that's why Mitchell Robinson's going to start. Mitchell Robinson's going to start next to Karl-Anthony Towns. That's going to happen, okay? And that's why you got a Yabusele coming, and you got guys like, again, Hart, and you got, other guys that's going to step up. And that's why, again, I'm hoping for James Najee to show some chops here, because if he can with Hoop Porty, then we got a lot of backup on defensive side of the basketball, and that's going to be huge. Jalen Brunson, let's start with him. Jalen Brunson is understanding of his weaknesses defensively. Okay, he has an IQ understanding of it, and he has an IQ understanding of the best ways to work around that. For Jalen Brunson, what you want from him is you want him guarding whoever is at the three-point line. Every team sets up their offense so that you have some sort of high-level shooter that can get an open look at the three-point line. That every team does that. And even some teams, you have multiple shooters. You know, like we saw the Celtics. You had Jrue Holiday, you had Derek White, you had, of course, you had Tatum, you had Pritchard. They had several guys that they can put in the lineup and keep them at the three-point line so that if there's penetration into the paint and kick, you got several guys that were 40% plus shooters at the three. So this is not uncommon. So what you want from Jalen Brunson is you want him to be on the three-point line against a shooter. That way he doesn't have to be beaten off the dribble. He's at least a traffic cone, you know, a detriment to standard, and he understands that. And in the pick and roll scenario, a lot of the times in the playoffs that Jalen Brunson got in foul trouble is because he was fighting through picks, which is exactly what you want. We did not like all of those calls against him. Some of them were not really good calls, but what we did like is him fighting through the pick. That's what you want him to do, okay? So he's going to give you his effort. He's going to fight through the pick. And what you want him to do is you want him to be at a three-point line. So what you want when Jalen Brunson is in space against a Tyrese Halliburton, or he's in space against a high-level player with the ball in the NBA, right? You want help. You want to get the ball out of that person's hands and let Jalen Brunson sit on a stand-up shooter. And the Knicks did a pretty good job at that at the end. They'll do better now, though, because now you don't have to have Jalen Brunson out there 40 minutes. You can have Jalen Brunson out there 30 minutes, and you'll have Deuce McBride and Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges. You have those guys out there making up the slack. Plus, you have Mitchell Robinson. You have Yabusele. You have Hoop Porty guarding the rim. Especially Hoop Porty and Mitchell Robinson. And again, I bring up Najee again because that's another guy. If you got a rim protector out there, guys like Brunson can put more pressure. Guys like Deuce can put more pressure on the ball. Defensively, one of the things Tom Thibodeau preached, which made him a great defensive coach, was keeping the ball out of the paint when you're on defense and invading the paint when you're on offense. Okay, so, and that's the name of the game in the NBA in a very basic, high-level way I'm explaining it. So if you got the ball, you want to try to get in your opponent's paint area, because then you can set up three-point shooters, you can get layups, you can get floaters, you can get dunks on pick and roll. You want to get in their paint, but you want to stop them from getting in yours. And at the Indiana series, Halliburton was getting switched off with Towns. Towns wasn't moving enough to either cover the paint or stop the dribble penetration, and Halliburton was getting multiple, as we saw, multiple floaters in the lane. And that's one of the things that was killing us. So for Brunson, he needs to fight that pick and roll like he was doing and keep those guys out the paint. He needs help, which is why you will have Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. You will have Mitchell Robinson. You will have Deuce McBride. You will have, hopefully, Landry Shamet. They're very good at keeping opponents out the paint. Okay? With Jordan Clarkson's an offensive player, obviously. So what you want is you want at least 3, hopefully 4, good defenders around him in the second unit. So when he comes off the bench, and this is the thing, because of the talent, the very high level of talent the Knicks have on their roster right now, you can use a multitude of different players with Clarkson. You can have him running with Deuce. You can have him running with OG, Hart, Mikal Bridges. You could have him running with Mitch Rob. If Najee shows up, you can have him running with Najee. You can have him running with Ariel Hoop Porty. You could create a situation where you have very high-level defenders. You could even have him running with Brunson because, as I said, Brunson, even though he's limited defensively, he understands his limitations and how to hide them and how to benefit from what he can do, okay? So with Jordan Clarkson, I don't see as huge a problem because he's not a starter. He's not going to be playing 35 minutes a game. He's going to be your bench dynamite scorer. You want that. Then with Brunson, same thing. He's going to be playing 32 minutes a game probably. He's going to be your dynamite scorer. You're going to isolate him. He's going to kill people. He's going to know how to distribute the ball. And he's not going to be as big a liability. Now, he's going to get beat. Teams are going to attack him. This is the league. But what you don't want is to become a big habit so that we get in double-digit deficits because he can't guard anybody. That's what we want to avoid, which is why Tyler Kolek may not play. Tyler Kolek is a traffic cone. So he has to show in the summer league that he can stay in front of somebody and that he cannot be muscled away by a stronger guy. So it's possible, and he could be ready this year. But if he's not, he's going to sit because we can't have that. This is where you give up buckets. Some of y'all get all dazzled by his passing and shooting, and you're not understanding. This ain't playground basketball. This is the league. You got to get stops, okay? So that's going to be important. But you still got Deuce. Hopefully they bring back Shamet. We ain't heard nothing, and no news is good news because that means they're negotiating with Shamet. Shamet is looking at other teams, and he's negotiating with the Knicks too. So no news is good news there. So we hopefully get back Shamet, that you have Deuce, Shamet, you have Josh Hart. That's your bench guards right there, okay? And they all play defense, high-level defense. So we'll see how that works out. But with respect to Karl-Anthony Towns, offensively, there is nobody in the NBA that can guard him, period. There is no 5 in the NBA that can guard him, and there's no 4 that can really guard him. He can take advantage of either situation. If he's being guarded by a smaller player that's a 4, you want him to have the basketball either at the top of the key because he could shoot over that 4, or on the block where he's too strong for the 4. This guy is an offensive force of nature to Karl-Anthony Towns. He just has to really pick his spots, and he has to understand where the defense is coming at him, and he has to understand where the opening is for the pass. And he's very good at that, especially if you run an offense like the way Mike Brown's going to run it with whoever is there with him, whether it's Borrego or Nori. Towns is going to really be a force offensively. Defensively, with Mitchell Robinson, what makes this work is that when Towns is in a bad spot, Robinson and him could switch. Robinson, from the time of Frank Nitti, Robinson and Nitti, at the time they played together, as bad as the Knicks was, they were number 1 in the league in pick and roll defense. And now you still got Robinson. And Deuce is just as good as Frank Nitti defensively with the 6'9" wingspan. So you can have still high-level defense and a pick and roll defense. So what you want is you want to read when a pick is coming, and you want to get Towns out of there in terms of out of that area of the court and bring OG, bring Mitch in there and let them try to pick and roll with him. See how that work out, because Mitch and OG could guard that mess, okay? So now that's the key. You got to get him. And now, I'm not worried as much about Karl-Anthony Towns in space in terms of guarding a player in space. He actually does pretty good at that. But it's when he gets picked off is when we have a problem. Because he'll get picked and he'll remain out there at the three-point line while the play is at the basket. That's a problem. Okay, so you really want him backing up. You want him, and of course, in this respect, he's going to give up 3-point shots. You got to give up something when you got a weak link. You'd rather give up a 3-pointer than a dunk. So, Cat's going to have to back up, and I mean back up. He's got to his goal has got to be protect the paint even from the 3-point line. If he gets a pick, he has to back up. Okay, and so you got to hope that the other guy who's getting picked, whoever it is, Brunson, Hart, McDuke, McBride, can get in front of that shooter. And in the NBA, sometimes that's too much time for an NBA level 3-point shooter. So that's how we got to play it though, because he's weak on that side. You got to make up for it with him scoring on the other side. Okay, so that's where we at. There's a lot of schemes, but basically in a high level way, that's how you got to get it. Towns has got to back up and protect that paint. You got to try to switch him with Mitchell Robinson as much as you can so that Mitch Robinson is there. that'll protect everything. Mitch Rob guard the three, Mitch Rob guard the paint, Mitch Rob guards everything. And then you got something good. So that's going to be the attack on the Knicks constantly. What's going to be good is that you're going to have 10 guys. So there's going to be Towns. Towns is going to probably play 30 minutes a game. Okay, maybe 32. Again, because of the depth that they're going to have, 10 guys are going to play. You don't have to keep Towns out there 35, 40 minutes. Okay? You don't have to keep JB out there for 35, 40 minutes. So you got guys coming in. And if you can get a lot of help at the 4 and the 5, which is why Yabusele is going to be extremely important. He plays both the 4 and the 5, but we don't really need him at the 5. We need him at the 4. He's beef stew. You need him at the 4. So you play him at the 4 behind Towns. He's a better defender. You got Mitchell Robinson, Ariel Hooporti, backing up the 5 spot. You still got, I said, man, I'm hoping that James Najee shows up. I'm really hoping that, as you can see. I am hoping he does. Because if he does, and we got Ariel Hooporti, Mitchell Robinson, and Najee, we straight. We straight. I don't care what, we straight at that situation, okay? So that's the strategy. And listen, Mike Brown's now July 4th, right? So July 3rd, let's give him that. So from July 3rd until opening night, he's got July, August, September. He's got 3 months to study this and figure it out. And that's plenty of time in the NBA. Okay, that's plenty of time. Hopefully the Knicks will name, I'm thinking they're going to name their assistant coach today. If they don't name it this weekend, they should name it today. It's going to be either Nori or it's going to be Borrego. And Borrego's under contract, so they may not get him. But Nori's available. They could get him. I don't have a problem with that. So we can get a press conference going on Monday. Everybody's in place. They done already named, I think the dude's name is Brink. They done already named him the Summer League coach. So I guess Dice is out because I ain't heard no mention of Dice Yoshimoto. So it looks like Brink is your Summer League head coach, and we'll go from there. But they're keeping Mark Bryant. They're keeping Brunson. They're keeping Cheeks, it looks like. So that's cool. We'll be good to go, y'all, as far as the coaching staff. I'm liking both Nori and Borrego. So either way, you got another mind, and the multitude of counselors, there's safety. You got another mind that's out there with Mike Brown, and he will utilize whatever he has as far as those assistant coaches. So they got time to figure this out. Meanwhile, Karl-Anthony Towns is hopefully getting that knee together for opening night. And then, of course, his finger, too. Then Brunson's going to be healthy. Hart's going to be healthy. Hart whines and complains about stuff. But, when it comes time to play, he's ready. He's going to be ready. And everybody else, hopefully, is going to be healthy and stay healthy. That's the key thing here. So get ready for this season. It's a big, big year. And that's why we're all concerned, because I think in the back of our mind, we know, most of us understand, and this could win the chip this year. This is for real. This ain't no joke. So all of you, whining for youngins to play, forget it. We're trying to win. Now, if a youngin shows up that could play, like James Najee, if he shows up and shows he could play, he gonna play. Okay? If he can't play no defense, Mr. Kolick, you ain't gonna play. Period. We trying to win. This is about all the marbles right now. Okay? So all of this, I want him to get a chance. Forget that. We gotta win. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now, you're starting 5: Jalen, Brunson, Kyle Bridges, not Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Karl-Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson. Boom. Then you got Deuce McBride. You're gonna have Jordan Clarkson. You're gonna have Gershon Yabusele, and we'll see who else. Maybe Ariel Hooporti. Maybe we'll see. Now, the 2 wild cards to me, those 3. I've already named one multiple times. James Najee, wild card. He could be a scrub. I'm just going to say he could, and then all of a sudden, okay, we don't have him. We got Hooporti, though. Beauchamp. I've seen him in Milwaukee. That boy could play some defense. He's a little 6'7", but he can play some defense. So you got him, and let's not forget Pacome Daddy. You want to see a youngin'? Your best talented youngin' is Daddy. And we're going to see how ready he is. Eventually, the boy's going to play. Now, I'm not saying this year, but eventually, he's got enough talent to ball. How high he goes, this is what I like about him. I don't know. what his ceiling is. I don't think anybody knows. Okay? So that's good. That means literally the sky's the limit. So we're going to see. I'm not in a hurry to push him out there, though, with all the talent we got now. But if the cream rises to the top, then it does. And he going to ball with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So we got Daddy, Beaucamp, Najee. Those are the wild cards. I'm expecting Porty to be there. I'm expecting. He showed enough. Only question is he going to remain healthy? But even if he doesn't, if Najee shows up, we good. Okay? We good. If OG can't play 74 games this year, we good. Okay? Because we still got some youngins that can come in and ball. And Mike Brown going to give them a chance for they showing they can ball. Like I said, if the cream rises to the top, it's going to play. That's how it is. Okay? So today, though, don't worry about the defense, y'all. I'm telling you right now, they're going to have it covered. They already know the weaknesses. It ain't like it's a surprise to anybody that Karl-Anthony Towns can't play no damn defense. Everybody knows that. And they're going to have strategies for it. And Cat's got to have his head in it, though. That's the problem. He has got to decide, I want to play some defense. He's too good a talent not to give some effort. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he needs to be Mitchell Robinson, but he needs to at least show some effort. A little bit of IQ. So we'll see what happens. But that's the big thing going into this offseason and coming into this season. Like I said, they should be announcing an assistant coach. If not today, I'm expecting it this weekend. You're talking about either Mike Nori or you're talking about James Borrego. They're working something out right now as we speak. This is the thing. Whenever it's quiet and you're wondering what's happening, you should know already. The Don is in his chess game. See? So right now they're talking to Shaman. We just found out late yesterday that they checked in on Ayton. Not that I wanted Ayton, because I don't believe in his heart. I don't think he got no heart. Don't have no heart, which is disappointing coming from a Caribbean brother like myself. He ain't got no heart though. Don't worry about him. But they checked in on him, like they checked on Simmons. As soon as they mentioned Ben Simmons, all y'all start tripping. But they check in on everybody. That's due diligence. I'm telling you right now, they're talking to Shamit's people. It's up to Shamit whether he takes the money or not. It's not that a lot of money NBA-wise, but we'll see what happens, okay? But the Don is working. I can guarantee you that. He's always working. And now they're trying to figure out who's going to be that assistant, because that's important here. And like I'm telling you, it's going to be either Nori or Borrego. We'll find out soon. Be safe out there. Don't blow your hand off or anything. Get something stupid with one of these, fireworks and all that, all right? Be cool with that. I know y'all flag waving, red, white, and blue and all that, but watch yourself. Dangerous, okay? Be safe. Enjoy yourself. Sure.